In June 2025, a Wall Street Journal investigation exposed the engineering disasters the recreational vehicle industry tried to bury. The most glaring example of this decline is the modern Airstream. On the dealership lot, you see a $150,000 icon of American heritage. But in the service bay, we see a calculated failure. Owners of post-acquisition units are now reporting popping rivets and leaking windows, catastrophic structural failures that were statistically non-existent 20 years ago. The physics of this failure are unforgiving. The iconic aluminum shell undergoes massive thermal expansion in the sun, and if rivets are not installed with micrometer precision by skilled craftsmen, the physical stress will shear the fasteners. However, under the ownership of Thor Industries, the manufacturing priority shifted from craftsmanship to volume. You are paying a luxury premium for a 1930s design that has been stripped of the engineering required to keep it watertight. This is just one data point in a portfolio of disasters. If you have purchased a heritage brand recently, I want your evidence. Comment below. What is your year and model, and what failed first? Let's build the blacklist together. If you look at the dealership lot, you see names like Jayco, Keystone, and Tiffin, assuming you are viewing a competitive marketplace. That is an optical illusion. The reality is that two massive conglomerates, Thor Industries and Forest River, control 80% of the entire market. They have replaced the engineering standard with a compensation model known as piece rate pay, which pays workers based on the volume of units pushed out the door, rather than the hours spent ensuring safety. In the automotive industry, an hourly wage encourages a mechanic to torque a bolt correctly. In the modern RV industry, if a worker stops the line to fix a crooked cabinet or a loose wire, he is literally taking money out of his own pocket. This perverse incentive structure makes speed the only metric that matters. The forensic evidence of this negligence is found in every service bay furnace flues that do not align with exhaust vents, screws puncturing microwaves, and high-voltage electrical wires stapled directly through the center of the insulation. To understand the magnitude of this industrial decay, we must open the dossiers on specific brands that once represented safety but now represent liability. Jayco is perhaps the most tragic entry on this forensic blacklist because it was formerly the industry benchmark. For decades, this independent company leveraged Amish craftsmanship to build units often described as tanks. But that era ended abruptly in 2016 when the company was acquired by the Thor Industries monopoly. The erosion was swift. The unique culture of quality control was replaced by a corporate mandate for higher margins. Forensic examination of modern Jayco units reveals that they are now generic Thor trailers, simply wearing a legacy sticker utilizing critical structural components fastened with cheap staples instead of screws, and plumbing systems with brittle plastic fittings that crack after a single winter thermal cycle. The name remains, but the engineering DNA was deleted. If Jayco represents cultural erosion, Heartland and Keystone represent structural fatality. In Heartland fifth wheels, we are documenting a catastrophic failure mode known as frame flex, where the welds holding the front cap to the sidewalls snap under towing stress. This is not a maintenance issue, it is a manufacturing defect. Repairing frame flex requires stripping the entire front skin off the trailer to re-weld the structure, a forensic reconstruction that costs upwards of $10,000. Simultaneously, Keystone units suffer from the industry's highest rate of delamination because manufacturers replaced aluminum framing with a laminated sandwich design gluing fiberglass skins to a substrate of cheap Luan plywood. The failure mechanism is chemical. The glue is water-soluble, so when roof seals vibrate loose, water dissolves the adhesive bond and rots the Luan from the inside out. The negligence extends to the assembly line environment itself. At Forest River, where speed is prioritized over sanitation, owners frequently report finding construction trash, empty glue bottles, and even half-eaten sandwiches sealed inside the walls and cabinetry. We have even documented freshwater tanks held in place by self-tapping screws rather than steel brackets. When filled with water, the screws shear off, sending the tank crashing onto the highway. You are paying $100,000 for a frame held together by Hope hardware store screws and discarded lunch leftovers. You might believe the warranty is your safety net, but in this industry, the warranty is effectively a scam designed to wear you down. When a structural defect inevitably occurs, you do not simply get a repair, you enter a bureaucratic nightmare where the dealership cannot fix a single screw without direct approval from the manufacturer. They are required to take photographs, submit complex claims, and wait for a corporate representative to authorize the specific labor hours. The true catastrophe, however, is the supply chain tactic. Manufacturers routinely approve the claim but declare the specific part is on backorder for months. It has become standard operating procedure for major dealerships to hold customer vehicles for 3 to 6 months while waiting for a single component. During this downtime, you are still legally obligated to make monthly loan payments and pay insurance premiums on an asset that is gathering dust in a parking lot. The scale of this dysfunction is strictly mathematical in California alone. Lemon Law filings for these vehicles spiked to over 22,000 in 2024 because units are sitting broken on dealer lots instead of at campsites. The warranty does not protect your investment. It protects the manufacturer's cash flow while accelerating your depreciation. If you purchase a new American Class B van today for $120,000, the depreciation curve is vertical. 5 years later, it is worth $80,000, meaning you incinerated $40,000 just for the privilege of ownership. You are effectively paying a premium to beta test a product designed for planned obsolescence. Contrast this with the financial anomaly created by the 25-year rule, a federal loophole the domestic industry despises because it allows you to opt out of their rigged system entirely. By importing a commercial-grade Japanese unit like a Toyota Hiace for $25,000, you are buying an asset that has already fully depreciated. 5 years later, it will likely still be worth $25,000, meaning you are effectively driving it for free. These vehicles utilize mechanical diesel engines designed for commercial delivery routes, capable of running 500,000 miles without the complex emission sensors that strangle modern trucks. Stop letting massive corporations use your retirement savings as their testing ground. Ignore the flat-screen televisions and buy the machine built to survive the apocalypse. The era of trusting a legacy badge is extinct. You cannot rely on a reputation that was sold to private equity a decade ago. The industry is counting on your ignorance. They are betting you will inspect the countertops instead of the chassis welds. Stop rewarding this duopoly for engineering failure. The choice is binary. Purchase a liability designed for the showroom or invest in a tool designed for the road. You must become the auditor. We are compiling the forensic evidence. If you have a service record for a post-acquisition unit, drop the year make and specific failure in the comments. Let's force them to answer to the data.